if you're going to rebuild the temple, you need to purify it. And purifying it, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 19, is a heifer, a red heifer ceremony that results in the creation of ash and water mixture, and that cleanses the entire nation of Israel from ritual impurity. And then the ceremony requires some of the blood to be sprinkled at the front of the tabernacle, and that later became the temple. It usually took place at the Mount of Olives, where they are planning on doing this again in the coming days. It is essential for all aspects of the temple and temple worship to take place. In addition, anyone participating in temple worship would be required to be sprinkled with the ash water. Beyond that, even without the presence of a physical temple, the ceremony would allow the general population to be ritually cleansed and remove much of the religious prohibition for a Jewish presence on the Temple Mount. When are they planning on doing it? Well, they imported these red heifers before October 7th. We now know that Hamas said that this was part of the reason, because they're going to use the red heifers to purify the temple, which is desecration to them, purifying them so they can then actually go up, and even if there is no temple, they can pray as if they were in the temple. They are going to do this Passover weekend, so Easter weekend. That may be a very violent weekend in Israel if we are to take Hamas at its words that no media is reporting on. You don't have to believe the red heifer thing. I do. I believe they believe it, and I believe that the third temple is part of the return of Christ or the coming of the Messiah. And I look at these things seriously, because I know the Middle East looks at them seriously, and I believe in the return of the Messiah. We should be watchful. We are told to look for these things. And I think the best thing that we can do is pray. The best thing we can do is prepare ourselves spiritually, temporally, physically, prepare for uncertain times. I don't know if this happens, but I know people have been working on this to happen, since 70. And it looks like it could happen in the next couple of weeks. The sacrifice of the 10th red heifer.